First player to win Premier League Goal of the Month and Player of the Month in the same month. Fastest United player to reach 50 goals. Bruno Fernandes has played the role of Manchester United talisman with the skill set of a world-class assassin. Is the Portuguese the most overrated playmaker in football today? Or is the football community not appreciating the midfielder's brilliance enough? Let's talk about Bruno, the silent assassin United relies on. Don't forget to like the video and subscribe. Truth is, if you're a Manchester United fan, there haven't been too many reasons to smile since Sir Alex Ferguson left. Let's face it, the glory days feel like a lifetime ago. But one bright spot, one undeniable highlight, Bruno Fernandes. Say what you want about his current role in the team or how things are shaping up now. Still, you've got to admit, the guy has stepped up for the Red Devils time and time again. And not just when the team is flying high, even when other attackers are out there not pulling their weight. Bruno has been the one making things happen. Free kicks, penalties, clutch goals, you name it. This man is a proper Red. Remember when he made the move from Sporting Lisbon to United back in 2020? I do. And I'll be honest, there was a mix of hope and skepticism. Some folks were crossing their fingers, thinking, could he be the next Cristiano Ronaldo? I mean, the parallels were obvious. Another Portuguese talent, another player coming from Sporting Lisbon, another big leap to one of the biggest clubs in the world. The expectations were through the roof. Let's not forget the numbers he was bringing with him. 27 goals and 22 assists in a single season for Sporting. Incredible, right? But then the real question hit. Could he replicate that in the Premier League? The most challenging, most demanding league in the world. It chews players up and spits them out. So, was Bruno going to be the real deal, or just another player who wouldn't be able to handle the step up? And how did the fans react to his signing at the time? One fan on X wasn't all that optimistic. He'll drown just like the other United big signings. The kid is about to ruin his career by joining this team. Harsh, right? But if you followed United back then, you'd understand where that frustration came from. Fast forward a few months, Bruno Fernandes didn't just prove the doubters wrong. He silenced them. If you can't remember, Bruno wasn't just good, he was phenomenal. After his January arrival, he became arguably the best player in the Premier League, dragging United from the brink of mid-table mediocrity to a stunning third-place finish. Remember that final day of the season? United were up against Leicester City, a team that had spent most of the season in the top four. Champions League qualification was on the line, but the pressure didn't faze Bruno. He was instrumental, as he had been through his first few months, helping secure that coveted spot with a goal in a 2-0 victory. 8 goals, 7 assists, 14 matches. That's what Bruno delivered in a season interrupted by the coronavirus pandemic. Fernandes scored an impressive 12 goals in 22 games across all competitions for United during that half-season stint. His goals didn't just help United claw their way back into the top 4. They also made deep runs in the FA Cup and Europa League, reaching the semi-finals in both competitions. And here's the wild part. Bruno Fernandes was crowned Man United's Player of the Year for 2019-20. Let that sink in. He won the award despite only playing half the season. That tells you everything about the impact he made, doesn't it? Fans were raving, and honestly, how could they not? One tweet summed it up perfectly. Bruno Fernandes for £47 million equals bargain. That's it. That's the tweet. And to be honest, it did look like a bargain. If you're still in doubt, then let's break it down for you. His scorecard read 9 Man of the Match awards, 2 Premier League Player of the Month awards, 3 Manchester United Player of the Month awards, 1 Goal of the Month, a spot in the Europa League Team of the Year, Europa League Top Scorer, and Manchester United's Player of the Year. This all came in just half a season. Would you say Bruno is the best United signing since Fergie left the club? Share your thoughts in the comment section, would you? But if the first season was impressive, his second season took things to a whole new level. Now, during his time at Sporting Lisbon, Bruno had already shown he wasn't just your average playmaker. His strength wasn't in flair or fancy dribbling, but in his ability to consistently impact the final third with high risk, high reward passes and long-range efforts. All those qualities were on full display at United in the 2020-21 season. Bruno ended the season with 28 goals and 17 assists across all competitions. Phenomenal numbers for a midfielder. He also proved his durability and reliability, clocking 3,118 minutes on the pitch, second only to David De Gea. It wasn't just about the stats, but the decisive moments he delivered. Bruno was the driving force behind United's success that season. Whether it was a pressure-packed penalty, a screamer from outside the box, or a perfectly weighted assist. That same season, the Portuguese midfielder made the Europa League Squad of the Season, PFA Team of the Year, and Man United's Player of the Year for the second consecutive year. On top of that, he created 15 big chances in the Premier League, ranking 5th highest in the league. There were expectations going into this season for United, but the 21-22 season wasn't exactly a great one. Disappointing is probably putting it lightly. But even in the chaos, Bruno Fernandes still stood out and hit some big milestones. At this point, you've probably noticed how much Bruno splits opinions. Some fans think he's a genius, while others roll their eyes at his temperament or risk-heavy playing style. But here's the thing, whether you love him or not, you can't argue with his numbers. He keeps delivering. Take, for example, the opening game of the Premier League season. Bruno lit it up with a hat-trick in that 5-1 thrashing of Leeds United. A hat-trick to start the season. You couldn't have asked for a better way to kick things off. And then, in the very next home game, he scored again. This time against Newcastle United. Bruno was saying, yeah, this is still my team. Then there was Europe. Bruno came through in the Champions League when United needed someone to step up. He set up Jadon Sancho's goal in a crucial 2-0 win over Villarreal, a result that got United into the round of 16. And here's a fun stat for you. That assist made Bruno the first player to set up goals in 5 consecutive matches of a Champions League campaign for an English club. United might have crashed out in the round of 16, but you had Bruno topping the assist list that season in the Champions League. Bruno wasn't just showing up on that stat sheet though. He was out there yelling instructions, telling players when to press, and taking charge of set-piece routines at training. So, is it any surprise that he became the captain not long after? By the time Bruno played his 100th game for United, he had more direct goal involvements than any other Premier League player during that time. His numbers were absurd, 45 goals and 34 assists in all competitions. Now, I know there's someone out there saying, yeah, but most of those goals are probably from penalties. But is Bruno really a penalty merchant? Before we dive into that, how about you hit that subscribe button if you haven't already? Done? Great. Let's talk about those penalties everyone's so quick to mention. Here's the fact. Bruno Fernandes has scored the most penalties for United in Premier League history, with 21 goals. But does that mean it's fair to slap the penalty merchant label on him? Honestly, reducing his impact to just that feels a bit lazy. When Bruno arrived at United, he completely transformed the team's attack, and his immediate success raised the bar ridiculously high. The problem? Once that bar was set, people started expecting him to hit those heights in every game, and when his form dipped even slightly, the critics were all over him, ignoring the consistency he still brings. And let's not forget, penalties are a crucial part of football. Converting them takes nerves of steel and the precision of a world-class assassin. Bruno doesn't just score them, he buries them with that calm, calculated style that makes it almost look too easy. But here's the truth. Bruno is so much more than penalties. He's the guy pulling the strings in midfield, putting up assists, making key passes, and linking the midfield to the attack. Without him, United's creativity takes a massive hit. Just like the previous seasons, Bruno Fernandes displayed his creative masterpieces for Manchester United in the 22-23 campaign. Sure, that season had Marcus Rashford's name written all over it with his incredible form, but Bruno wasn't far behind. He was quietly doing what he does best, creating, assisting, and driving the team forward. Bruno played the most minutes in the squad, outside of David De Gea, proving yet again that he's a workhorse. He finished the season with 14 goals and 14 assists in all competitions, consistently delivering when it mattered. And when it came to creating chances, Bruno was on a level of his own. He created 119 chances in the Premier League that season, the most on record for any Man United player in a single campaign since Opta started taking stats in 2003. Going into the new season, Bruno was finally named Man United's captain, replacing Harry Maguire. From the moment the announcement was made, you could see he was ready for it. He got things rolling early, scoring his first goal of the season with a penalty and assisting in a thrilling comeback win against Nottingham Forest. Bruno's work ethic has always been second to none. Think about it. Between 22 and 23, he played a staggering 72 games and clocked in 6,666 minutes. That's a workload most players couldn't dream of managing, but he took it in his stride. Even so, it wasn't smooth sailing for United at the start of the season. They struggled in the Premier League and crashed out of the Champions League, finishing dead last in their group. As captain, Bruno took some heat for the team's performances, but here's the thing, he never stopped showing up. He kept delivering goals, assists, and influencing games. And then there were moments that remind you why Bruno is so special. That goal against Liverpool, unreal. A 50-yard strike that left everyone speechless, marking his 50th Premier League goal in style. It was a captain's goal, a moment of brilliance when the team needed it most. He didn't stop there either. 7 goals in 6 matches earned him Player of the Month award. And by the end of the season, he'd picked up the Sir Matt Busby's Player of the Year award for the 3rd time. But the biggest moment that season, the FA Cup final against Manchester City. That's where Bruno truly stamped his authority as captain. His pinpoint assist for a crucial goal helped United secure a 2-1 victory, giving him his first victory as skipper and United's second under his leadership. It wasn't just about the result, it was about how he led and carried the team on the biggest stage. And while the second season ended with rumours swirling about a move to Saudi Arabia, Bruno made his intentions clear. He extended his contract with United until 2027, showing he was fully committed to the club and its future. Bruno Fernandes' time at Man United has been anything but straightforward. It's had its ups and downs, moments of brilliance and stretches of criticism. But throughout it all, one thing has remained consistent. He delivers. Is Bruno overrated? Or has he truly earned his place as Manchester United's best signing since Sir Alex Ferguson? Let us know in the comments. And hey, if you enjoyed this deep dive, make sure to like this video and hit that subscribe button. Stick around, because our next video is packed with even more juicy content you won't want to miss.